The networking opportunity was great. Probably could have been more productive if the management would have been a little bit better, but nonetheless, I think that I did everything that was asked of me as far as above and beyond to help myself in the job market to come.
So when you started looking for jobs, talk a little bit about like the resume, how many resumes you sent out, and the interviews you got, and the feedback that you got.
I sent out nearly 400 resumes in the 8 months where I decided that I set a date for myself, and I decided that if I didn't get any bites in those 8 months, that I was going to go back to school in order to avoid some of my undergraduate debt. I sent out almost 400 resumes. I sent them out through friends, through websites, sport-specific websites, as well as individual company websites. I diversified my search and went to just about anything that was applicable that I thought would be interesting at the time. I would receive phone calls back from companies that would say that if we were ever going to fill this position, we would give you consideration. And then some of them I would never hear anything from. There was a couple times where I was contacted, and when I went back to contact them to give them information they requested of me, they were either no longer hiring or they were no longer going to fill the position. It was a very frustrating time in my life. I mean, I understand the importance of college. I understand the importance of my undergraduate work, the networking capability that you have that you don't have anywhere else that you have on a college campus. But with that being said, what we're told is that we're not validated without that undergraduate degree. And then eventually, it seems like more and more today, we're now told that we're not validated without a graduate degree. You essentially pay for the experience leading up to the diploma. That is what you're paying for, but as far as it goes with looking for jobs and doing things of that nature, you're paying for your credibility on paper. And I think that is a blow to the higher education system, because what it has done is it's turned college into the new high school and grad school into the new college. You have people that are always under the understanding that they're always going to go to college, that they have to go to college to make ends meet. And eventually, that saturation that we talked about with the market, before you know it, you're just paying more money for more qualifications. It's not necessarily the education that comes with it the way it should be, but it's to the point where some people, with the job market the way it is, employers don't even have to talk to you to find out what you're about if you don't meet their higher standards. And those standards get higher every day as more and more people achieve goals that were once more rare and harder to find. I'm not sure where my breaking point would have been as far as if I owe this much, I'm going to do this much. If I owe this much, I'm going to do this much. But given the situation that I was in, without having a significant job, without being in my field that I wanted to be in, and without having, hope that things would turn around in the near future, I turned to a graduate degree to make myself more marketable, as well as the fact that it gives us a smaller window of time where we're exempt from paying back our undergraduate degree loans. If I had to do it over again, I probably would do the same thing, but the problem becomes that people are going and seeking graduate degrees, and the market is being saturated with people with graduate degrees. What we're experiencing now, I believe, is a lot of undergraduate degrees. The way I liken it to is when I finished high school, we were under the impression that if we went off and got a college degree, we could do whatever we wanted. Well, things beyond our circumstance, beyond our control, happened, and eventually the college undergraduate degree is looked upon as another high school degree. And, we're forced to make decisions based on our own circumstances, and the decision that I made was to go to grad school, not so much that I wanted to further my education, but that I wanted to find a better way to make ends meet, as well as avoid those undergraduate loans. I would never say that no one has a choice, but you're very restricted in the way that you can operate. We have to make our own choices based on our own situations. And the problem is is that today's economic market is taking the thought out of it. There's no thought required. For me, the thought was not, I'd like to choose to continue my education. It's, I cannot afford to not continue my education. Moving on to a graduate program is something that I believe you should be very proud of, and I am very proud of the fact that I'm going to have a master's one day. But a lot of times the situation that you find yourself in, it makes it kind of hard to swallow. The fact that you're here on your own free will, but maybe you would rather have worked a couple of years in the industry and then decided to go back for a better position instead of going back in hopes that you find a position in general. One of the things that I discuss with some of the people that I have classes with is, if we continue to make these decisions based on, for lack of better terms, running away from debt, eventually you find nowhere else to run. You can only take out so many loans. And every time I take a graduate class to work towards a better qualification or towards my master's degree, I'm also taking on the same debt that I am running away from, just in a different form. What's being created is you are robbing one side to stave off the other, and it does take a lot of the thought out of it. And I think eventually what it will do is it will devalue those degrees, just the same as the undergraduate degrees have been devalued. You have people that are making these decisions not because they want to, but the fact that they feel that they have to. So it's maybe not that they can't make the decision, but it's just that we're left with options A, B, and C, and A is the only one that looks like it could offer any sort of relief, so we choose A. And it's really unfortunate because for a long time, a graduate degree was something that was going to bring you more success, and now people are looking for them as a door to open rather than multiple doors to open. It's just you're trying to get in on the ground level with your graduate degree. So in a lot of ways, it's a no-brainer. If you owe so much, you can't pay them, and you're being told that others are more qualified, what are you to do? If you graduate with your undergraduate degree with a 4.0 in your major and you're told you're still not qualified enough, I don't think there's much that you could have done at your undergraduate level to where you're almost forced to pursue something on a graduate level.